On tonight's episode of MAFS, we saw firsthand why Australia has an epidemic of violence against women. If you love my reviews, hit that follow button, but I can't promise I'll do this every night because I'm being really triggered and my mental health is deteriorating. I should also mention that this is part 2 of tonight's episode recap, so if you haven't watched part 1, go back and watch it. Jackie and Ryan were up next on the couch, but it kept on flashing back to Adrian and Athena. Scum of the earth had just tried to silence Athena by telling her that she wasn't allowed to bring up what happened at the family and friends lunch, and she was saying, "Why are you mad at me? Don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to go up there and attack you." Meanwhile, these two said that they'd progressed their intimacy. I think they banged. The pair chose to stay. Rhea and Jeff were up next. They had a great family and friends week. Apparently Jeff has got Rhea's mum's number and the pair have been texting each other, which is so cute. And Rhea's mum has been thanking Jeff for looking after her daughter on the show. Bless. The pair chose to stay. Meanwhile, Scum of the Earth was still trying to silence and manipulate Athena. He was like, "Don't bring it up, Athena. Just say how you feel, but don't say what happened." It was then their turn to take the couch. Scum of the Earth gets up there and of course dominates the conversation. He said, "Yeah, so with family and friends week, I don't really want to talk about it. It didn't go so well. That's really all you need to know." Alessandra was like, "I would like some details because it was a big week for you and I want to know what happened at the lunch." Adrian was like, "Well, I don't really want to go into detail because it actually involves family and friends and I am protective of that and it's actually private." Alessandra was like, "It was filmed on national television and we will all see it eventually, so I would like some details." Adrian then said, "Athena felt like my family was intimidating her and I felt like Cleo was aggressive. These last 2 weeks have been really bad, but I don't want to keep focusing on the negatives. I want to focus on the positives." Dave then jumped in and said, "I'm not buying that. Look how hurt she is. Look how upset she is. She's hiding something deep down. You can see it in her face." Adrian then goes, "Well, what's the solution, bro? What's the solution?" And Dave said, "Well, you could start with letting her speak. Maybe let her say how she feels." Scum of the Earth then said, "I never told her she can't speak. I never told her that she does not have permission to say that. I never told her what to say." When we had just seen him use coercive control to silence her and manipulate her into submission. It was actually so upsetting to watch this. He has just done what he is now denying. Dave, the hero, the king, then said, "She looks to you for permission to speak." And Scum of the Earth said, "I've never controlled what she says. I never controlled what she can say." The experts then asked Athena if she feels like she needs permission to speak from Adrian. Athena then said, "It's not that I feel like I need permission from Adrian to speak, but it's that I feel like it will create a rift between us if I go into too much detail about what's happened. Because if I do that, it might hurt Adrian, and I don't want to hurt him because I care about him." Let's revisit the definition of silencing a partner and how this is a form of coercive control. Adrian is using fear and psychological manipulation to silence Athena. If a person is afraid to speak because their partner might get angry, punish them, or withdraw affection, this creates an environment of fear and compliance rather than mutual respect. Over time, this conditions the victim to self-censor, leading to internalized oppression. They begin doubting their own thoughts and instincts. So because Athena is scared that it might cause a rift in their relationship, aka Adrian will punish her for speaking out against his behavior, she is now self-censoring. She now knows what she can and cannot say because she knows what the consequences are. She has been conditioned by Adrian's abuse tactics. Expert John then pipes up and he goes, "Athena, why do you like Adrian?" And Athena starts to talk. She says, "Well, this morning I woke up feeling really hurt, but I didn't feel hurt just for me. I also felt hurt for Adrian. John interrupts her, rudely, mind you, and says, Athena, I asked you why you like Adrian. And Athena, again, starts to stumble, and John, very rudely, interrupts a third time and says, Athena, it's a very simple question. God, this grinded my gears. Why is expert John condescending a victim of abuse in this way? And why is he forcing her to explain why she likes this guy? Give her a goddamn break. So John belittles her a third time. Athena then says, Adrian, have you ever told me why you like me? And the expert John was again like, Athena, you're not answering the question. Athena then said, well, over the last couple of weeks, there's not been a lot of good. Adrian interrupts her. He goes, see, always focusing on the negatives. Athena then, almost in tears, said, let me answer it. Honestly, so hard to watch. Just awful. Athena ended up saying some BS about how Adrian occasionally looks at her with sincerity. She also said that she likes that he has a lot of respect and love for his family. Adrian then goes, see, I'm not as bad as everyone thinks. Adrian thinks that this is some gotcha moment, and because Athena has managed to utter one or two reasons why he is okay-ish, that he's been vindicated of all of the awful things that he's done. He's so unintelligent that he thinks that this one sentence can convince us all that we're wrong about him. What a moron. The experts then asked Adrian why he likes Athena, and he said that she's really loving and caring and empathetic, and of course she is. She's a beautiful human being. The experts then did something that made me sick to my stomach. They said, okay, now you two, you really need to focus on the positives. Doing this back and forth, you're never going to get anywhere. So we need to stop focusing on the negatives and focus instead on the positives and the reason why you like each other so that you can grow. Why in the hell are they perpetuating this man's narrative? My mind is blown. I'm actually disgusted that these people claim to be experts and they are perpetuating abuse. It then came to the decision, and Adrian was like, well, you know, I thought that this couch session was going to go pretty well, so I said stay. Of course you thought it was going to go well because you've manipulated Athena into silence. I've run out of time, go to part 3.